The Old Man in the Whispering Ocean. Once upon a time, by the edge of a small fishing village, there lived an old man named Finn. His house sat on a cliff overlooking the vast ocean, and every morning the sound of the waves would wake him up with a soft, calming whisper. The villagers believed the ocean was magical, and they often said that if you listened closely, it would tell you its secrets. Finn was a kind man with a heart full of adventure, though his years had made him slower and his hair as white as the seafoam. He spent most of his days sitting on the beach, watching the waves roll in and out, remembering the days when he had been a sailor, sailing far and wide. He had once been known as Finn the Brave, who had crossed the deepest seas and discovered islands hidden from maps. But those days were long gone. One evening, as the sun was setting and painting the sky with shades of orange and pink, Finn heard something strange. The ocean, usually gentle and calm, seemed to be calling to him. It wasn't the usual sound of waves crashing or the seagulls squawking overhead. No, this was different. The ocean was speaking. Old man," it whispered. "Why do you sit and wait? There are adventures still out there, and treasures too great to imagine." Finn blinked in surprise. He had always heard the stories about the ocean talking, but never in his wildest dreams did he think it would speak to him. He leaned closer, listening carefully. "Take your boat," the ocean whispered. "There is a place I want to show you, a place where no man has ever sailed. But be warned, the journey will be long, and you must have courage." Finn's heart raced with excitement. He hadn't set foot on a boat in years, but the thought of one last adventure filled him with joy. That night, under the light of the full moon, Finn prepared his old boat, the Sea Star. It was a small fishing boat, nothing fancy, but it had been with him through many adventures. He packed a few things, some bread, water, a blanket, and a shiny seashell that he always carried for luck. The next morning, with the villagers watching in awe, Finn set sail into the unknown. The ocean was calm and the wind was gentle, guiding his boat like a kind friend. For days Finn sailed. The stars were his map, and the ocean was his guide. One night, as Finn lay on the deck, gazing up at the sky, he heard the ocean speak again. "You're getting close, old man, but you must face 3 challenges before you find the treasure I've promised." Finn, though a little nervous, nodded. He was ready. The next day the first challenge arrived. A great fog rolled in, thick and cold. Finn couldn't see anything, not even his own hand in front of his face. The boat drifted aimlessly, but Finn remembered an old sailor's trick. He closed his eyes and listened to the waves. They would guide him. Slowly but surely, he steered the Sea Star through the fog, trusting the ocean's whispers. After hours of sailing blind, the fog lifted, and Finn found himself in a beautiful bay. The water was clear, and colorful fish swam beneath his boat. He thought this might be the end of his journey, but soon the second challenge arrived. Suddenly, a mighty storm erupted. The sky turned dark, and thunder roared like a giant's footsteps. The waves grew taller than mountains, tossing the Sea Star around like a toy. Finn's heart pounded, but he wasn't called Finn the Brave for nothing. He tied himself to the boat's mast and held on tight. For hours the storm raged, but Finn whispered words of calm to the ocean, thanking it for guiding him. Slowly, the storm began to fade. With the sea calm again, Finn noticed something sparkling in the distance. It was a tiny island, glowing with a golden light. But before he could reach it, the third and final challenge appeared. A giant sea serpent, long and scaly, rose from the depths. Its eyes gleamed, and its hiss echoed across the water. "Why have you come to my waters, old man?" the serpent demanded. Finn, though scared, stood tall on his boat and replied, "I've come seeking the ocean's treasure. It promised me adventure, and I've faced every challenge to get here." The serpent stared at him for a long time, then smiled. "You've shown courage and respect for the ocean. You may pass." With that, the serpent disappeared into the deep, and Finn sailed forward, reaching the Golden Island. When he stepped onto the shore, the ground beneath him sparkled like stars, and in the center of the island sat a treasure chest. But when Finn opened it, there were no jewels or gold. Instead, there was something much more precious, a beautiful shimmering shell, unlike any Finn had ever seen. He picked it up, And the ocean whispered once more, "This is your treasure, old man. It holds the power of the sea. Whenever you listen to it, you'll hear the ocean's stories, and you will never be alone." Finn smiled, holding the shell close. He had found more than treasure. He had found a connection to the ocean that would stay with him forever. And so, with the magical shell in hand, Finn sailed back to his village. The ocean was quiet now, but Finn knew its secrets. He spent the rest of his days telling stories to the children of the village, sharing the wonders of the sea and the adventure he had lived. And if you visit the village on a quiet night, you might still hear the old man by the shore, whispering to the ocean and listening as it whispered back. This story captures the magic of the ocean, adventure, and wisdom of an old man.